Hello there everybody, this is Lane and welcome to Lane's Game Room, the series where I review video games as well as video game consoles, both old and new. And right here we're not going to be looking at any particular video game or console, we're going to be looking at these Nintendo S-Video cables that I recently bought on eBay. So now these are not the officially licensed Nintendo ones, these are actually third-party aftermarket S-Video cables. So basically these Nintendo S-Video cables will work on the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, and the Nintendo GameCube. And basically what S-Video does is it enhances video quality that looks a lot better than composite cables. So now we can get a closer look at the S-Video cables. There are some bad looking S-Video cables, but like when it comes to like these aftermarket S-Video cables, it doesn't really truly matter as long as you don't get a defect. If we're not counting defects, then the only thing I should be wary about when it comes to buying S-Video cables is that make sure the cable does not have a yellow composite video plug-in, just like, you know, like it looks like the ones with the white and red but in yellow. If it does, it probably won't display true S-Video, or maybe if it does, but it might have some problems like checkerboarding or just slightly muddy quality. So just make sure it doesn't have a yellow composite video plug-in, and it just has the red, the white, and the S-Video cable itself. And here is thing to plug in. So now let's go test out the cable, and I'll be showing images for for comparison. These are composite video cables. They usually go in these spots that are white, yellow, and red. So while playing the GameCube on composite cable, it's not as bad as Nintendo 64, but the text and graphics do look a little blurry. Sometimes they can look a little muddy depending on what game you're playing. It's not the worst, but it could be a bit better. But with the S-Video cables, not only are the sprites and text a lot more clear to look at, but the graphics themselves look a lot more crisp and clean. Not as crisp and clean as like an HD video game system like a Wii U or PlayStation 3, but close enough. I know these screenshots are like taken from my camera directly into the television, so you know the quality in these screenshots might not be perfect, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. As with Nintendo 64, unlike the GameCube, which runs video games at 480i or 480p, the 64 runs around 240p. So yeah, the video quality is not going to be that amazing compared to GameCube, but for what S-Video offers for Nintendo 64, it does a really good job making the video quality a little bit crisp and clear. Not as crisp and clean as like an HD like video game system or an HD game, but like close enough. I mean, if you don't want to modify your Nintendo 64 to have like an HD TV port, I mean, like playing Nintendo 64 games on S-Video cables, like it's not really a bad option if I do say so myself. I just do want to mention that if the audio sounds messed up, it might be because you probably put the white plug-in into the wrong white port. So yeah, so overall, if you have a Super Nintendo or a Nintendo 64 or a NTSC Nintendo GameCube, I highly recommend getting a S-Video cable for your, for all your Nintendo systems. Just make sure you buy the right ones, and make sure it doesn't have that yellow composite plug-in. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you for watching.